No matter how talented the artists, musicians today have to use the technology of a modern recording studio if they want to be anywhere near the top. Each sound is recorded separately onto multi-track tapes and finally blended on a complex mixing desk. One answer could now be fitted inside here. It's a self-contained recording studio designed to give the enthusiast access to some of the basic features of the real thing, but in a manageable, miniature package.
When the first Tascam hit the market in the early 1980s, it sent shockwaves through the music scene. Never before were artists able to record their music professionally without breaking the bank to do it. However, this tool gave artists the ability to make their music entirely independent of a label. This was the birth of what we know today as indie music and the start of the DIY scene. With minor adjustments over the years, this 4-track cassette player evolved into what you see today. The Tascam 424. The concept of cassettes are simplistic at its core. A cassette will have 2 sets of stereo tracks, 2 moving forward and 2 moving backwards. And when you flip the cassette, you have a whole nother side of tape to listen to. Cassettes for recording though, these work a little bit different. Instead, we have 4 different mono tracks, all moving in the same direction. This allows you to record up to 4 different tracks, all on the same tape. Pretty sick, right? The Porta Studio was the earliest version of a DAW. Similar to what you might find on Logic or FL, all of these little knobs here act as EQs or little panning pieces to help hone your sound. And if you run out of space on your mixing board because there's only 4 tracks, you can bounce multiple tracks into one and you have an endless supply hack. And artists used to take advantage of this. Elliott Smith, Bruce Springsteen, Madlib, Ween all used the Porta Studio to do what a digital audio workstation couldn't. This. In music, saturation can make or break a song. If you listen to Travis Scott on Spotify and then listen to the Beatles on tape, you'll notice they both have saturation but achieve it in very different ways. Listen to this 808 one shot. But if I add some distortion, that's saturation. The challenge for most modern producers is how much saturation can I add before my track becomes overcompressed. If you need a good reference for a track that's oversaturated or overcompressed, look no further than Imagine Dragons. In the modern music world, we call this the loudness war, where every artist is struggling to be heard over one another. But in the days of tape, analog saturation occurred differently. Coming back to that Beatles reference, let's listen to this drum fill. Notice how it feels loud yet warm. Natural saturation occurs when the sound hits its peak limit, giving it a nice warm textural feel. That aside, this video isn't a debate on, well, what's better, analog or digital? Because they're both so vastly different. Digital plugins fall flat on their face next to analog saturation. Analog compression is working overtime to keep up with the pace of modern DAWs. All that to say, it truly does depend on what sound you're going for. Personally, I'm very detail oriented when it comes to my music. I spend hours tweaking, mixing, mastering, remixing, and remastering just to get that perfect tone that I'm looking for. I've become so adept to this process that by the end, I feel proud. Look at all the hard work I did. I did that all myself. Or did I? Is my DAW a tool or a crutch I lean on? Is the pitch correction I use supposed to be fixing my voice or making me feel robotic? After ages of making music on my computer, every project I open just feels robotic and still.
Editor Poet from the future here. Nice job using robotic so many times in a sentence. Can you not think of any other words besides robotic? Words to replace robotic. Automated, automatic, mechanical, self-operating. Oh, these are all kind of mid. Words to replace stiff. Aha! Rigid, firm, non-flexible, punishing, stignant. Literally any other word. Why robotic?
And that's a large part of why I bought this machine. When working with analog, what you have on tape is what you got. There's no grids, no splicing. There's not even a back button. You mess up, you messed up. Even the tapes themselves wear over time. It's a very fickle process to get that lightning in the bottle feeling. But then all of those flaws in the recording and all of the imperfections become your favorite parts. The warbly voice and the off-rhythm guitar bring life back into the track. That raw, stripped back, authentic feel that you can't really get with a digital audio workstation. And we're gonna make a song on tape. These were my first headphones I ever got. They're some Tascam TH03s. Never in my life did I think that I was going to own my very own Tascam Porta Studio, so this is actually super sick. So the concept for this next project I'm working on revolves around my little sisters. I am the oldest of 4, and so I'm going to dedicate each song to each one of them, and that makes 4 songs for a nice little EP. I think that tape is probably the perfect medium to tackle all of this in, so I'm really excited about this. So in the past when making music, I've always started with the instrumental and worked my way backwards, but as you'll see in a moment, oh wait, I just remembered, I need to have a structure down. Exactly. So after replaying the tape a few times, I got a general feel in BPM and started to figure out where I wanted the song to go. And in retrospect, writing the lyrics first made me think a bit more in depth about what I wanted to say before I say it. I mean, this is tape. You really only get one shot. If you record over a tape too many times, you can end up damaging it. Mentally performing where exactly I wanted my own song to go gave me a surprising amount of creative liberties. And to all of my music friends at home watching this, I highly recommend this process. Start with lyrics, see where it takes you. I really enjoyed doing this. Lyrics are now done. So the song is about me missing my little sister's recital, and the song's from her perspective of, why didn't you show up? I saved a seat for you. And I'm looking at this and just hoping, praying that I can communicate this well over tape. This is gonna be a really good song. We're finally tracking guitar. Took too long. Let's replay what we just made. All right, sick. Now let's do backing for that. Nice. All right, sick. All right, now let's start recording some accent pieces. I call them guitar ad-libs. I think they're called harmonies. Do I look like a musician? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, all the guitar parts are recorded. Not completely in time, but I kind of like it. It's like a reverbed ping pong effect. Now, it is my favorite part, and the part I've been looking forward to the most, vocal time. I won't be able to talk much because I'm going to be using this microphone, so take it away, editor poet. Now, I'm not going to lie, this was probably the trickiest part. After every single take, I would beat myself up because I just couldn't get it right. And listening back to some of these takes, a stage set for lovers, maybe this time older brother, they're not even that bad, but I thought I could do better. The real problem is that I'm not a robot. I don't think I am. And if I wanted to achieve perfection in a song, I would use a DAW, not a tape machine. It took me like 15-20 minutes into recording this where I finally had that realization, and I started reaching into my higher register, and that's where everything clicked into place for me. And after hours of recording, we finally have our finished tape. I'm gonna put that back in there so I don't wreck it. And to be absolutely honest, I love it. It's maybe my favorite song I've ever made, which is a big thing to say for me. I've made hundreds of songs. I have a very thick discography. If I had the chance to do things over, I wish that I clipped my vocals a little bit more. What I learned about tape is that you need your vocals to be constantly in the red, because if it's not in the red, that means that you're allowing a lot of extra noise to enter into your mix. So a lot of the vocals have this hissing sound, which just adds to the imperfection of it. Is that a mixing problem? No, that's character. In all seriousness, if you're a musician, a photographer, an artist of any caliber, I wanted to leave you with this little brain thought or sun daughter. Perfection doesn't exist. The perfect song will never exist, no matter how much you add or subtract to it to make it feel like it does. And that's a good thing. Flaws, mistakes, hurdles you had to overcome to get to where you are is what makes you human. But in the end, it's how you utilize those flaws in your artistic medium that proves who you are as a person. That's some deep. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, this song that you're hearing for the first time ever is actually scheduled to be out on time. So if you're watching this video, it should be out. If not, I'm sorry, and it'll be out tomorrow. You should definitely click the link down below and see if it's out now.
It's medicine, honey. Hands on the ground.
How the plot thickens, everyone's gone, and I missed it. Maybe a song can fix it. Write me a song, older brother, and tell me how everyone else in your life's in the wrong. Drive excuses like splinters I pick at, and I rehearsed all my lines to perfection, a quota. I gave you a time, you replied you would show up. A stage set for our lovers. Maybe this time, older brother, would be someone different, someone different. Wrote his name down, did he miss it? Oh, how silly was I, come to think you're right. Am I naive, a child, to think this a lie? I was special, I was special, I was special, tell them not. Closing in, filling in the gaps till we make a mess.